In the fall of 1982, people in Chicago were dying after doing something millions of Americans did every single day. They took a painkiller. No warning, no symptoms. Just sudden collapse, panic, and death. At first, no one understood what was happening. There were no visible patterns, no shared locations, no obvious cause. But within days, a terrifying realization began to surface. Something was seriously wrong, and whatever it was, it could reach anyone. It started quietly. A young girl collapsed at home after complaining of a headache. A few hours later, she was dead. Then another person, then another. Different ages, different neighborhoods. No connection anyone could see. Doctors were confused. Autopsies didn't give immediate answers. Families were left stunned, replaying final moments, trying to understand how something so normal could suddenly turn fatal. The city felt uneasy, but no one yet understood the scale of what was unfolding. As more deaths followed, investigators began comparing notes. One small detail kept appearing in the background of each case. Tylenol, a household name, a trusted brand, something people reached for without thinking. At first, it sounded impossible. How could an over-the-counter medicine be responsible for sudden death? But when toxicology reports came back, disbelief turned into dread. Cyanide, a deadly poison. And it wasn't a trace amount. It was enough to kill within minutes. The news hit Chicago like a shockwave. Pharmacies went silent. Shelves were cleared almost overnight. People stared at their medicine cabinets with fear, unsure of what was safe anymore. Parents warned their children. Hospitals issued alerts. Police scrambled for answers, but the deeper they looked, the worse it got. The pills weren't contaminated at the factory. They had been tampered with after they were already on store shelves, which meant the killer could be anyone, and they could strike again at any time. Panic spread faster than the investigation. News broadcasts interrupted programming. Headlines screamed warnings. People dumped bottles of Tylenol into trash cans, toilets, anywhere they could get rid of them. The idea that a stranger could walk into a store, poison random bottles, and walk away unnoticed shattered a sense of safety most people didn't even realize they relied on. This wasn't a targeted crime. It felt random. And randomness made it far more terrifying. Investigators raced against the clock, retracing the victims' final days. Which stores had they visited? Which bottles did they buy? Which lots could be connected? But the trail kept breaking apart. Bottles came from different stores, different batches, different locations. There was no single crime scene. The entire city had become one. And every unopened bottle felt like a potential weapon waiting to be used. As fear mounted, attention turned to motive. Why would someone do this? There were no demands, no letters at first, no clear message. Some wondered if it was extortion. Others feared it was an experiment, a test to see how vulnerable society really was. When a letter eventually surfaced demanding money to stop the killings, it only deepened the mystery. Was it the real killer, or someone trying to exploit the chaos? Investigators couldn't be sure. Suspects emerged, then faded. One man became the focus after connections to the case raised eyebrows. But evidence was thin, circumstantial, nothing solid enough to hold in court. The more authorities pushed, the more the case seemed to slip through their fingers. Whoever did this had planned carefully, choosing anonymity over recognition. No fingerprints, no witnesses. just fear left behind. Meanwhile, the damage was already done. The nation was watching. Trust in everyday products collapsed. Johnson & Johnson pulled millions of bottles from shelves, losing massive amounts of money in an effort to stop the panic. New safety measures were rushed into development. Sealed packaging, tamper-proof lids, warning labels. Things we now take for granted were born out of this moment of terror. The murders forced an entire industry to change overnight. But the killer was never found. No trial, no confession, no closure. Years passed, then decades. Leads dried up. Witnesses moved on or passed away. The case slowly slipped out of daily conversation, but the question never disappeared. How could someone commit a crime that shook the entire country and then vanish without a trace? Was it careful planning or pure luck? Or was the truth buried somewhere no one thought to look? Some investigators quietly wondered if the answer was simpler and more unsettling than anyone wanted to admit. That the crime didn't require genius, just opportunity. Just knowing how much people trusted what they consumed without question. The murders exposed a fragile truth. Society runs on assumptions, on routines, on faith that the things meant to help us won't harm us. And once that faith is broken, it's hard to restore. Today, the Tylenol bottles look different, heavier, sealed, protected. A silent reminder of what happened in Chicago in 1982. But the person responsible was never held accountable. Somewhere, the truth still exists. In a memory, in a mistake, in a detail overlooked. And the most unsettling part isn't just that someone poisoned a city and got away with it. It's knowing how easy it was to do, and wondering whether anyone could ever stop it from happening again.